Hi, Emma here from Old Town Hypnotherapy. Today I want to talk to you about something that is quite close to my heart, and that's not being normal. I'm unconventional, I know, I live a very unconventional life, and I've come to terms with that, and I embrace it and I love it. Now, how I live and what I do isn't for everybody, of course it's not, but the message I want to get across here is there is necessarily no right and wrong way to live your life. I don't fit into boxes and I'm proud of it. I spent many years trying to follow a conventional way of life, 9 to 5 jobs and career progression and the house, the car, and doing the same thing that all my peers and everybody, growing up was doing, following that same path. Until I discovered that you don't have to live like that. It's up to everybody to find their own path. Now, one of the reasons I'm telling you this is because now I know that you don't have to fit yourself into the boxes that everybody tells you should, or that you think that other people think you should, is probably more accurate. People don't say, they do say you need to do this and you need to do that. And actually it's more coming from yourself, your own self-talk of saying, oh, I should do this and I should do that. Now, of course, we all have responsibilities for ourselves in life, but there are different ways to do things. And a conventional way of life isn't necessarily for everybody. And the first part of accepting and making those changes in yourself is realizing that there are alternatives. Now, when you first start wrestling with this with yourself, because for me it was a wrestle. I hated what I was doing. I didn't hate what I was doing, but I just became really overwhelmed and unhappy with my whole way of life, and it caused me to go into depression. Well, that was part of the depression, because I became really negative about my life, but I felt really trapped. And the healing began when I started to realize, or to think, okay, there's got to be another way. But I didn't know what that way was. And where I am now, from where I started, which I guess, that's probably, oh gosh, it's quite a few years ago now. I was just trying to think how many years ago it was. It's probably 5 years ago, actually. It's only 5 years ago from where I started to where I am now. I didn't go from like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. It's evolved. It's been a journey and it's evolved. I couldn't have imagined at the time that I would be living on an island and I'd be doing what I'm doing and making videos and writing courses and earning my living from being a writer. God, I've never written anything in my life at that stage apart from IT proposals. So what I do now is totally just not even in my imagination. But it began with accepting that I couldn't keep trying to put myself in that box. I had to find something new. That's where it began. It began looking for something new. The rest has been an evolution. And it's, what I liken it to is, sorry, my noisy neighbours, it's got really noisy right now. What I liken it to is like, okay, you're starting a journey. That journey begins with that positive thought of, I want something different. I want to find a different path in life. And there are things that I know, I enjoy. I guess it started with, I know I like teaching. And that's where the whole journey started. I had no idea about the rest. But as you start following a path, it's not until you start going down that path that options and your turnings and your junctions and your forks in the path start appearing to you. So if you're sat where you are and you're staying where you are because you don't know where you want to go, you're going to be there for a very long time. What you've got to do is start journeying, start walking down a path, any path. It doesn't really matter as long as you start taking a new direction. And that starts first in the mind and then with action. And you open yourself up to possibilities and they will start appearing left, right and centre. Do you know what? Before you know it, you will have a completely different, happy life than you had before.